So dear students, let's see how to solve this type of questions. So specifically speaking about this question, it is a case of two-step transition. That means it will take two steps to solve this. So what are those two steps of transition? You have been given the value of this. So from this you first need to find the value of x minus 1 by x. So once you have done that, then you would be able to find the value of this. So this is what is meant by two steps of transition. So let's first focus on this part of transition. That means somehow let's focus on finding about the value of x minus 1 by x whole square. Now we know that x square plus 1 by x square minus 2 is actually x minus 1 by x whole square. So we have the value of x square plus 1 by x square, which is given to be equal to 51. So from here 51 minus 2 is actually equal to x minus 1 by x whole square. So from here you can safely assume x minus 1 by x to be under root of 51 minus 2 is what, 49, comes out to be equal to 7. So you have found this out. So based on this you have to do the second transition. So let's do the second transition. Now that we have found out the value of x minus 1 by 7, so based on that value, now we would be trying to find out the value of x cube minus 1 by x cube. So we have found this out. So based on this, we are trying now to find the value of this. This is the question. Let's do that. So cubing, you cube both sides of this. So now see what will you get. A minus b whole cube can be written as a cube minus b cube minus 3 into a into b into x minus b. So this is equal to 343, 7 cube. Now this is what we have to find. So let me name this delta. So delta minus, you see this gets cancelled, delta minus 3 into x minus 1 by x we have just found out to be equal to 7. So this is given to us as 343. So from here you can safely conclude that this is equal to 343 plus 21. So comes out to be equal to 364. So now let's see. So 364 is the correct answer. Two steps transition. Okay, now how to solve this? So you know x cube plus 1 by x cube is equal to this much. You don't know x plus 1 by x is equal to how much. So let x plus 1 by x to be equal to a. Let this be equal to a. So if you cube both sides, what do you get? A cube plus b cube plus 3 into a into b into a plus b must be equal to a cube. So now what is x cube plus 1 by x cube? It is already given to be equal to 52. So I can say that 52 plus this x and this x will get cancelled. 52 plus 3 into what? X plus 1 by x is how much? We don't know. That is equal to a. So 52 plus 3 into a is equal to a cube. So I can say that 52 is equal to a cube minus 3a, or okay. So based on this, what is the value of a? So you can, I would suggest you cross check from the options which options fit. So if a is equal to 3, does that fit? No. 27 minus 9 doesn't. If a is equal to 4, so if a is equal to 4, so 4 cube minus 12, 64 minus 12 is equal to 54, 52. So 4 is the answer. Otherwise you can actually solve this. Not much bigger deal. Okay, very good one. How to solve this? You see how to solve this. To solve this, you find this and then you find this and then you multiply these two, you will get the answer. That is the crux. Because to reach x to the power 5, if you multiply x square with x to the power 5, that will make it x to the power 5, and same here. So there is a big hint that you need to find this out first and then you need to find this out and then you multiply them. So this again is a 3-step process. So let's do that. So first let's find x square plus 1 by x square. So x so we know that x plus 1 by x is equal to 3. So transition shortcut, x square plus 1 by x square is equal to 3 square minus 2 is equal to 7. So this is equal to 7. Now let's calculate this as well. So x cube plus 1 by x cube is equal to x plus 1 by x whole cube minus 3 into x into 1 by x into x plus 1 by x. So this is equal to 3 cube minus 3 into 3. That means 27 minus 9 comes out to be equal to 18. So this is actually equal to 18. Now what to do? Now it's time to multiply these two up. So let's do that on next page. So x square plus 1 by x square and x cube plus 1 by x cube. So it's time to multiply these two up. So let's see. So this is x to the power 5 plus 1 by x. If you multiply first term with both the terms, now it's time to multiply this term with both the terms, plus x plus 1 by x to the power 5. So if you rephrase this, x to the power 5 plus 1 by x to the power 5 plus x plus 1 by x. So this comes out to be, but we know that this has come out to be equal to 7 and this has come out to be equal to 18. We have just solved in previous steps. So 18 into 7. So this comes out to be 126. This is what we have to find. So let me name this delta. So delta plus x plus 1 by x. So this is equal to 3 is equal to 126. So from here it is very evident that delta is equal to 123. So none of the options. I think 123 is the correct answer. Okay, now let's move to the next one. Okay, a very good question and a very common one on top of that. So this is given to you and you have to calculate this. Okay. So there is actually a big hint. See what is given to us. This is given to us. Okay. So this is given to us. If you divide both numerator and denominator by p, you would get 1 by p minus 3 plus 1 by p is equal to 1 by 5. So this can be rewritten as 1 by p plus 1 by p minus 3 is equal to 1 by 5. This is what you get. Now let this be equal to delta. So if you find delta, you will easily find this out. So now I can say that 1 by delta minus 3 is equal to 1 by 5. So from here it is very evident that delta is equal to 8, because delta minus 3 is equal to 5. So delta is equal to 8. So if delta is equal to 8, it means p plus 1 by p is equal to 8. So once you have found p plus 1 by p, you can easily find out p square plus 1 by p square, which is actually equal to 8 square minus 2. So 64 minus 2, 62. So 62 is the correct answer. Now let's move to next one. Again a similar question. x divided by this is equal to 1 by 13. You have to find x square plus 1 by x square. So let us understand what is given to us. So this is given to us. So if you divide both numerator and denominator by x, what will you be left with? You would be left with this. Okay. So now this can be rewritten as 1 by, if you take 3 as common, x plus 1 by x plus 7. So this is given to us as 1 by 13. So now let me name this part as delta. So from here it is clear that 1 by 3 delta plus 7 is equal to 1 by 13. So from here it is clear that 3 delta plus 7 is equal to 13. From here it is clear that delta is equal to 2. So once you have the value for delta, that means you know that x plus 1 by x is equal to 2. So you can easily conclude that x square plus 1 by x square will be equal to 2 square minus 2, which is also equal to 2. So 2 is the correct answer in this case as well. Now let's move forward. So x square minus 3x plus 1 is given to us as equal to 0. And based on this we have to find the value of this. So I would like you to try this on your own. So first pause this video, give it a try. If you are not able to solve this, then we will solve this together. So let's give it a try first. Okay, same trick here. X square minus 3x plus 1 is equal to 0. So if you divide both sides of this equation by x, you can say that x minus 3 plus 1 by x is equal to 0 by x is equal to 0. So from here you can say that x plus 1 by x is equal to 3. So once you have found out x plus 1 by x, you can also find out x square plus 1 by x square, that will be equal to 3 square minus 2, which is equal to 7. So once you have this value, you can easily say that this is what? This is x square plus 1 by x square plus x plus 1 by x. So x square plus 1 by x square is equal to 7. X plus 1 by x is equal to 3. So the final answer is what? 10. So this is the final answer. Now let's move further. X plus 1 by x is equal to 1, and based on this you are asked to find the value of this expression. Seems to be very difficult, but you don't worry, these kind of questions are gift if you know the trick. So that's why we are here. That's why we have bifurcated the entire topic, entire syllabus, entire type of questions into segments, into patterns. Now see, the given expression, if you divide both numerator and denominator by x, then what do you get? You get x plus 3 plus 1 by x whole divided by x plus 7 plus 1 by x. This is what you are being asked to calculate. So this can be rewritten as x plus 1 by x plus 3 whole divided by x plus 1 by x plus 7. And you already have the value for this. X plus 1 by x is already given to us as 3. So this is equal to 1 plus 3 divided by 1 plus 7, which is equal to 4 by 8, which is equal to half, which is equal to 0.50. So this is the correct answer. Now let's move further. If x plus 1 by x is equal to 5, then we have to find the value of this. Again, same logic. Divide both numerator and denominator by x. So what you have been asked to find out is actually this. So this is what you have to find out. So this can be rewritten as 2 divided by, if you take 3, this will be 3 by x. So if you take 3 as common, so x plus 1 by x minus 5. So now you can substitute the value of x plus 1 by x. So this will be actually equal to 2 by 3 into 5 minus 5. So this is actually equal to 2 by 10, 0.2. So this is the correct answer. Now let's move further. If x square plus 1 upon x square is equal to 17 by 4, then what is the value of this? So I hope you can do this. So the two-step transition. So first x square plus 1 by x square, with the help of this first we will try to find x minus 1 by x. Once we have done that, then we can easily find this out. So let's do that. So x square plus 1 by x square is already equal to 17 by 4. So x square plus 1 by x square minus 2 is equal to x minus 1 by x whole square. So this means 17 by 4 minus 2 is equal to x minus 1 by x whole square. So from here you can conclude that 9 by 4 is equal to x minus 1 by x whole square, or else you can also say that x minus 1 by x is equal to 3 by 2 taking square root. So once you have found this out, you can easily find this. So x cube minus 1 by x cube can be written as x minus 1 by x whole cube minus 3x into 1 by x into x minus 1 by x. So x minus 1 by x we have just found out to be 3 by 2. So x minus 1 by x whole cube is what? 27 by 8 minus 3 times of, we have just found out x minus 1 by x is equal to nothing but 3 by 2. So 3 into 3 by 2. So ultimate answer is 27 by 8 minus. So dear students, let's see how can we solve this one. So x square plus 1 upon x square is given to be equal to 17 by 4, and based on this we have been asked to find out this value. So let's see. So again this is a case of two-step transition. So first from this you'll have to find out the value of this, and once you have done that, then you can go on to solve this. So let's do that quickly. So we know that x square plus 1 by x square minus 2 can be written as x minus 1 by x whole square. So we already have the value of x square plus 1 by x square equal to 17 by 4. So 17 by 4 minus 2 is actually equal to x minus 1 by x whole square. So from here you can see that x minus 1 by x whole square is equal to 9 by 4. From here you can conclude that x minus 1 by x is equal to 3 by 2. So once you have found this out, it's time to do the second transition. So second transition, so x cube minus 1 by x cube is actually equal to x minus 1 by x whole cube plus 3x into 1 by x into x minus 1 by x as per the standard algebraic identity. So this is what we have to find. Now we have the value of x minus 1 by x as given to us as 3 by 2. So this is what? 27 by 8 plus this and this cancel, plus 3 into what? X minus 1 by x is what? 3 by 2. So this comes out to be 27 by 8 plus 9 by 2. So this is equal to 36 plus 63 upon 8. So 63 upon 8 is the final answer. Now let's move further. Again same concept. Both numerator and denominator, if you divide by x, then it is given to us that 5 divided by 2x plus 5 plus 1 by, now this time there is a catch. Here it is 1 by 2x. So we have to somehow, we would like to create 2x. So dividing by x is not sufficient this time. This time we need to divide it by 2x so that the desired term gets formed. So there is a big hint in the question itself that here we need to involve 1 upon 2x. That means we need a situation that will help us generate this. So it's a big hint that we need to divide both numerator and denominator by 2x. So if we do so, what do we get? We get that 5x divided by 2x whole divided by, now this time to divide the denominator as well by 2x. So this is given to us as equal to 1 by 3. So now let's see what is given. So 5 by 2, 2.5 whole divided by 2x square divided by x comes out to be x. 5x divided by 2x, again 2.5 plus 1 upon 2x. So this is given to us as equal to 1 by 3. So I now take it here. So it is given to us that 2.5 divided by x plus 1 by 2x plus 2.5 is equal to 1 by 3. This is given to us. Now this is what we are trying to calculate. So let this be delta. So 2.5 divided by delta plus 2.5 is equal to 1 by 3. So if you will solve this, you will see 7.5. So delta is equal to 5. So we were supposed to calculate delta, that is x plus 1 by 2x, and we have done that, which is equal to 5. So this is the answer. Now let's move further. Again same thing, both numerator and denominator have to be divided by x. Then what do we get? 100 by 2x plus 102 plus 2 by x. So this is given to us as equal to 99. This can be rewritten as 100 divided by 2 times of x plus 1 by x plus 102 is given to us as equal to 99. So this is now student, this again is the almost the same pattern of questions that we have been solving for quite a while now. So we know the value of x plus 1 by x, and based on that we have to calculate the value of this. So how can we do that? We have to calculate the value for this expression. Okay, but we have been given the value of x plus 1 by x. So there is a big hint, we divide both numerator and denominator by x. So actually we are being asked to calculate this value. Okay, so this is in fact equal to 100 divided by, if you take 2 common, x plus 1 by x plus 102. So this is what is given to us. So this is actually equal to 100 by 2 into 99 plus 102. So this is 100 divided by 198 plus 102 comes out to be 300. So the final answer is 1 by 3. Again same. So divide both numerator and denominator by x. So you would get x minus 1 plus 1 by x whole divided by x plus 1 plus 1 by x. So this has been given to us as equal to 2 by 3. So this can be rewritten as x plus 1 by x minus 1 and x plus 1 by x plus 1. So this is given to us as equal to 2 by 3. So let this be delta. So we have been asked to find this out. So let this be delta. So it is known that delta minus 1 by delta plus 1 is equal to 2 by 3. So based on this you can find the value of delta. So let's see what that comes out to be. So 3 delta minus 3 is equal to 2 delta plus 2. So delta is equal to 5. So now let's move to next pattern of questions, which would obviously be based on some other concepts. So let's do that. So dear students, next concept that one must be aware of is the concept of surds. So now, as you already know that surds, we have already discussed the concepts of surds in previous videos as well. So surds are basically the expressions containing square root, cube root type of symbols. So surds are basically expressions containing square root, cube root, which are not perfect. For example, if you try to find this out, you get a answer as a perfect integer. But if you try to find this, then you don't get a perfect square root. So these kind of expressions involving the roots, square, cube, all that type of expression, they are known as surds. So now let's get down to the type of questions that have been asked from this domain over the years. Now root 2 is given to be 1.4414. Based on that you have been asked to calculate the value of this. So now let's see what this actually is. root 8 can be written as 2 root 2. 2 root 35. So this is actually 2 root 16 into 2. So 16 into 2. So I'll take step by step. So if you find this difficult, okay. Now 128. So try to break 128. So 128 can be written as, so 128 is in fact a power of 2. It can be written as 2 to the power 7. So 4 under root 2 into 25. So this is what is we require to find this out. So let's simplify this. So we have been asked to find out 8 root 2. So if 9 comes out, minus 9 root So dear students, let's see how can we solve this type of questions. So this is the simplest type of questions that you can expect from SERTs. So this is what we have to find out. So let us see. Cube root of 8 can be written as 2 root 2. Similarly, 2 root 32 can be written as 2 into, if you see what 32 is, this is basically 2 to the power 5. Similarly, minus 3 under root of 2 to the power 7 plus 4 under root of 25 into 2. So this is, now you see, since you have been given the value of root 2, so you try to use root 2 as much as possible and take all other numbers out. So what do you mean? So this can be rewritten as 2 root 2 plus, you see this is 2 into 2 to the power 4 into 2. So this is 2 to the power 4 into 2. Why did I do so? Because 2 to the power 5 cannot be taken as square root. So because this is not an even power. Similarly, this can be written as 2 to the power 6 into 2. And this you can write it as it is. So basically what you have been asked to calculate is basically this 2 root 2 plus 2 square 4 for 8 root 2 minus, so 8 24 root 2 plus 5 will come out 20 root 2. So ultimately 28 plus 2 30, 30 minus 24. So this is actually equal to 6 root 2. So answer is 6 into 1.414, which is equal to 8.484. So this will be the correct answer. Now let's move further. Okay, what is the value of this? Now see, so this expression can be written as under root of, so root 12 into root 3, root 36 plus root 12 into root 2, root 24 minus, root 24, because root 8 into root 3 is also root 24, minus of root 16 whole divided by, now here lies a bit of a trick. So concentrate on the part 5 plus root 24. So your job should be to express this as a plus b whole square to bring it out of the square root. So how can you do that? You have to think of two numbers a and b such that a square plus b square is equal to 5. And then see, there is a big hint. 5 plus root 24 can be written as 5 plus 2 into root 24. So you have to think of two numbers a and b such that a square plus b square is equal to 5 and a into b is equal to root 24. So what is root 24? Root 24 is equal to, if you take 8, so this will be actually equal to 2. So dear student, this is second pattern of questions that you can expect from the topic surds. So how to solve such questions? Now let us understand what is this question trying to convey. We have to find the square root of 16 plus 6 root 7. So how can we do that? So let's suppose 16 plus 6 root 7. Let's suppose that this is equal to a plus b whole square. So what does this actually mean? It means that, or better still, we can rephrase this. So this is 16 plus 2 into 3 into root 7. So this is actually equal to a plus b whole square. So we have to think of two numbers. If you expand this, this will come out to be a square plus b square plus 2ab. So if you see properly, so a square plus b square is given to us as equal to 16. And AB, because this is playing the role of 2AB. So you can conclude that AB is equal to 3 root 7. So you have to think of two numbers such that a square plus b square is equal to 16 and AB is equal to 3 root 3. So can't we assume a to be 3 and b to be equal to root 7? Both these would be valid then, because root 7 whole square is equal to 7 and 3 square is equal to 9. So 9 plus 7 is equal to 16. So in fact 16 plus 6 root 7 can be rewritten to make it look like a square. How? So this is actually equal to 3 square plus root 7 whole square plus 2 into 3 into root 7. So this can be written as 3 plus root 7 whole square. So if you are trying to find out the square root of 16 plus 6 root 7, you are basically trying to find out the square root of 3 plus root 7 whole square. So the answer actually would be 3 plus root 7. So this is what you have to do when you are asked to find the square root of surds. Now let's see this one. So again you have to find the square root because a is given to be the square root of the surds. So let's resolve that first. So 7 plus 4 root 3. So let's see what shape does it takes. So 7 plus 2 into 2 root 3. And in fact, if you will observe, this can play the role of a, this can play the role of b, because a square is equal to 4 and b square is equal to 3. So a square plus b square is actually equal to 7. So 7 plus 4 root 3 can actually be written as 2 square plus root 3 whole square. This much becomes 7 plus 2 into 2 into root 3. So this is actually equal to 2 plus root 3 whole square. So a is equal to what? The square root of this. So a, which is given to us as the square root of this. So a comes out to be equal to 2 plus root 3. Now what is the value of a plus 1 by a? So a is 2 plus root 3, 1 by a is this. Okay, so you can rationalize this, rationalize the second term. So by multiplying it by 2 minus root 3. So this is actually equal to 2 plus root 3 plus, because you see 4 denominator will become 1, 4 minus root 3 whole square. That means 4 minus 3, 1. So 2 plus root 3 plus 2 minus root 3. So root 3 cancel. Answer is 4. Now let's move to the next one. Okay, good. So now how to solve this? So before solving this, you can see that it is like square root under square root. So to square root within a square root. So the first job must be to resolve or to actually resolve these small square roots. So square root within square root thing. So let's rewrite this. How can this be rewritten? So the given terms are basically 1 divided by under root of, leave 12 as it is. So 12 minus, you see 140 is equal to 35 into 4. So this can be written as 2 root 35. The second term is 1 by under root of, leave as 8 as it is. So 8, 60 can be written as 15 into 4. So 4 comes out. So this becomes 2 root 15 minus 2 divided by under root of, leave 10 as it is. So 84 is equal to 21 into 4. So this can be written as 2 root 21. So now let's see. So this is, there is a big hint, root 7 and root 5. So this entire thing becomes root 7 minus root 5 whole square minus of, so what is 15? 15 is equal, root 15 is root 3 into root 5. So 3 plus 5 is 8 and root 3 into root 5 is root 15. So this is nothing but under root of root 5 minus root 3 whole square minus of 2 whole divided by under root of, leave 10 as it is. So there is a big hint, 21 is 7 into 3. So this can be written as, this is actually root 10, sorry, root 7 minus root 3 whole square. So this is 1 by root 7 minus root 5 minus 1 by root 5 minus root 3 minus 2 divided by root 7 minus root 3. So now how to go further? To go further, we will have to rationalize the denominators. So let's do that. Let's rationalize the denominators. So the terms that we have got is 1. So the terms are 1 by root 7 minus root 5 minus 1 by root 5 minus root 3 minus 2 divided by root 7 minus root 3. So this is what we have got so far. So now let's rationalize this. Rationalizing means multiplying both numerator and denominator with a motive that denominator becomes a complete integer. So this is actually root 7 plus root 5 by 7 minus 5, or root 7 whole square is equal to 7, root 5 whole square is equal to 5, minus root 5 plus root 3 whole divided by 5 minus 3. Now this is minus 2 whole multiplied by root 3 plus root this much by 7 minus 3. So this is the situation. So now let us see what it comes out to be. Root 7 by 2 plus root 5 by 2 minus root 5 by 2 plus, this will still be minus root 3 by 2. Now this is 2, this is 4. So again this will be minus root 7 by 2 and minus root 3 by 2. So dear student, this is a very very good question, and it is actually based on the concept of square root of a surd. Let us understand how. Let us deal it term by term. Okay, so let's concentrate on first term, this term. So what is first term? First term is 1 by root under 12 minus root 40. Minus root 40 can be written as 4 into 35. So 4 comes out in the form of 2. So this is the first term. So if you look at the first term, so root 35, here is a big hint. Root 35 can be created if you multiply this. Similarly, if you take the square of these two terms, that means root 5 whole square plus root 7 whole square, so it becomes 12, this 12. So that is the purpose of choosing these type of numbers, so that you can create a perfect square. So how can you create a perfect square? So now let's concentrate on first term only. So the first term can be carefully written as, this will be root 7 whole square plus root 5 whole square minus 2 into root 7 into root 5. So this is how the first term can be written, which can then again be written as 1 upon under root of, this is nothing but root 7 minus root 5 whole square. So the first term is basically 1 divided by root 7 minus root 5, because if you take square root, this square symbol would cancel out. So this is the first term. If you simplify the first term, it becomes this. Now you can further rationalize this. If you rationalize this further, then you will multiply it by this. So if you rationalize, what does it come out to be? It comes out to be root 7 plus root 5 whole divided by 7 minus 5, that is 2. So you see, first term, which looked so complicated, is actually so simple to figure out, but you will have to go through this process. So this is what you have to do with all the other terms. So first term I have already done. You do it for the second and third term, and let's see what happens. So if you try to solve, you will realize that the first term we have already solved. First term is root 7 plus root 5. So first term comes out to be root 7 plus root 5 by 2. Similarly, if you will try the second term, let's go back to second term. So second term, this is 8, 60 is equal to 15 minus 4. So this is actually 2 root 15. So you see, here is the hint. Root 3 and root 5 are used to create this, and root 3 square plus root 5 square is used to create this. So this is basically root. If you will solve this second term, if you will actually try to solve the second term, so let me solve the second term now. So let me remove all this hustle and let me solve the second term before you. Okay, so now this second term can be written as, if you write this carefully, it can be written as under root of, see, root 5 whole square plus root 3 whole square minus 2 into root 3 into root 5. So this is nothing but 1 divided by under root of root 5 minus root 3 whole square. So this comes out to be 1 by root 5 minus root 3. So you can rationalize this further. If you rationalize this further, you will get this is actually equal to this much. So this is the second term. So second term can be written as root 5 plus root 3 by 2. So now see what can be done with the third term. So if you concentrate on the third term, you will immediately realize that you have to do the same what you have done for the first two terms. So look at 84. So 84 is equal to 21 into 4. So root 84 can be written as 2 root 21. So here is a big hint. It is root 3 into root 7. So root 3 into root 7 have been used to form this, and root 3 square plus root 7 square have been used to form this. So 2 divided by third term can be written carefully as root 7 whole square plus root 3 whole square plus 2 into root 7 into root 3. So this is what actually the third term is. So third term is basically 2 divided by root 7 plus root 3, which can further be rationalized by multiplying it by this. So denominator would become 4, so 2 by 4. So this is actually root 7 minus root 3 by 2. So this is the third term. So third term comes out to be root 7 minus root 3 whole divided by 2. So now let's expand this. So this is root 7 by root 2 plus root 5 by 2 minus root 5 by 2 minus root 3 by 2. This is minus root 7 by 2 minus minus plus plus root 3 by 2. So I hope I think these terms are cancelling each other out. So they have a cancellation effect. So the answer must be equal to 0. So this is the correct answer. Now this is very similar to what we just did. So let's see. So let's resolve this. So this is actually equal to under root of root 12 into root 3 is equal to root 36. Root 12 into root 2 is equal to root 24. Minus root 8 into root 3 is equal to minus of root 24. Minus root 16 whole divided by, now comes the tricky part. So root 24 is actually 2 root 6. The moment you realize this, the job is done, because root, see what have been, root 24 is actually equal to, so root 24 can be written as 2 root 6. So there is a hint that root 6 have been created with the use of root 2 and root 3. So root 2 into root 3 is equal to root 6, and if you square them up and add them up, they come up to be 5. So these denominator can be now carefully written as root 3 whole square plus root 2 whole square plus 2 into root 3 into root 2. So now what this comes out to be? This comes out to be under root of root 36 is what? 6. Root 16 is what? 4. So this is actually 6 minus 4 whole divided by root 3 plus root 2 whole square. So this comes out to be 2 divided by root 3 plus root 2. But as you see, it matches none of the options. So what to do? You can rationalize this further. So you can rationalize this by multiplying both numerator and denominator by its conjugate. So the moment you do that, what do you get? So this is 2 into root 3 minus root 2, and the denominator becomes 1. Okay? So this comes out to be equal to 2 root 3 minus 2 root 2. Okay, but this is 6 minus 4, so this actually would be equal to root 2. So the final answer is root 2 into root 3 minus root 2 comes out to be equal to root 6 minus root 4, or you can say root 6 minus 2. So this has to be the correct answer. Okay, so now let's see a couple of, so x and y both are given as surds. So what is to be immediately realized here is, if you immediately realize, look at the choice of the terms 2 and root 3. Why these particular numbers have been chosen? They have been chosen for a purpose, because the moment you rationalize them, so this is going to take effect. So the denominator has the potential of being converted into 1. How? You can see immediately. So x, let's see what is x plus y equal to. So x plus y is equal to 1 by 2 plus root 3 plus 1 by 2 minus root 3. So denominator becomes a square minus b square format. So 2 square, that means 4 minus 3, and this would be 2 minus root 3 plus 2 plus root 3. So this is actually equal to 4. So x plus y comes out to be equal to 4. Now what is xy equal to? Now let's see xy. So x into y is equal to 1 by 2 plus root 3 into 1 by 2 minus root 3. This is even easier. So this is actually equal to 1 by a square minus b square format. So this is actually nothing but 1, because this will take the shape of denominator will become a square minus b square. So 4 minus 3. So now you know the value of x plus y, which is equal to 4, and xy, which is equal to 1. You can solve this. So what have we been asked to solve? So we have been asked to solve 8 into xy. So xy is equal to 1. So I would say 8 into, I would avoid this. This is 1. So 8 into x square plus y square can be written as x plus y whole square minus 2xy. So this is what we have been asked to calculate. So let's do that. So 8 into, now what is x plus y? X plus y is equal to 4. So 4 square 16 minus 2xy. xy is equal to 1. So 16 minus 2. So it is actually equal to 8 into 14. So what is 14? 8s are 112. So this is the correct answer. Now let's move further. So again you can see x is equal to 3 plus 2 root 2. Now look at the choice of the terms 3 and 2 root 2. Why these two particular terms have been chosen? Please realize, if you get the opportunity to square them and subtract them, so 9 minus 8, this will become 1. So they have been chosen for a very specific purpose. Now what is that purpose? So let us see what that purpose is. So in fact there is another easier way out to this. So if you realize that x is equal to 3 plus 2 root 2 and you have been asked to find out its square root, then you can take that approach as well. So here is a big hint. So this has been created with the help of root 2 and root 1, because if you square them and add them up, it becomes 3. So x is actually equal to root 2 plus root 1 whole square. So hence root x comes out to be equal to root 2 plus root 1. Now you have been asked to calculate this. So we know what is root x. Now what is 1 by root x? So 1 by root x will be equal to 1 by root 2 plus root 1. If you rationalize this by multiplying it by this, denominator becomes 1. So this is actually equal to root 2 minus root 1. So root x comes out to be equal to root 2 plus root 1, and 1 by root x comes out to be equal to root 2 minus root 1. So we have been asked to calculate this minus this. So let's subtract. So root 2 plus root 1 minus root 2 plus root 1. So this cancels out. So 1 plus 1, answer is 2. So this is the correct answer. So now let's move to the next one. So it's pretty straightforward. We have to calculate x plus y. So if you do that, x plus y, that means root 5 plus root 3 divided by root 5 minus root 3 plus root 5 minus root 3 whole divided by root 5 plus root 3. So denominator will take the format of a minus b into a plus b, which will be a square minus b square. So let's do that. So denominator, it's pretty clear, is 5 minus 3. What about the numerator? Numerator would be root 5 plus root 3 whole square plus root 5 minus root 3 whole square. So this is actually equal to 5 plus 3 plus 2 into root 3 into root 5 plus 5 plus 3 minus 2 into root 3 into root 5 whole divided by 2. So this term and this term cancels each other out. So 20 by 5 plus 3, 8. 8 plus 8, 16 by 2 comes out to be equal to 8. So 8 is the answer. Now this is a very good question. Let's see how this can be done. So we have been given x in form of surds. So x is equal to root 5 plus 2, and based on that we have been asked to calculate the value of this expression. Now wait for a second and just realize that what you have been actually asked to calculate. So this is what we have been asked to calculate. So if you divide both numerator and denominator by x, then what you have been asked to calculate actually transforms into 2x minus 3 minus 2 by x whole divided by 3x minus 4 minus 3 upon x. So if you see carefully, this is what you have been asked to calculate. If you take 2 as common, this will become x minus 1 upon x minus 3 whole divided by, if you again take 3 common here, this will be x minus 1 by x minus 4. So this is what you have been asked to calculate. So if you calculate x minus 1 by x first and then you put the value here, it will be more easier for us. So let's do that. We know that x is equal to root 5 plus 2. Now look at the choice of terms. Root 5 whole square would be 5. 2 square would be 4. The difference is 1. So they are doing this for a purpose. So you know x. Now what is 1 by x? So 1 by x will be equal to 1 by root 5 plus 2. The moment you rationalize this, you will get the advantage of. So if you rationalize, you will get that 1 by x is equal to root 5 minus 2. So now x plus 1 by x is equal to root 5 plus 2. Sorry, this is here minus. We need to find this minus. So minus root 5 plus 2. So x plus 1 by x actually comes out to be equal to 4. So that you can substitute here. So what you have been asked to calculate actually comes out to be equal to 2 into 4 minus 3 divided by 3 into 4 minus 4. So this is actually equal to 5 divided by 8. So 5 by 8 is 0.625. So this is the correct answer. Now let's have a look at this series. So we have to simplify this. If you observe something, things will become very easy. Look at the terms root 3 plus root 4. So if you rationalize them by using root 4 minus root 3, the denominator would become 1. So the question is very clearly begging you to rationalize the terms. So let's rationalize the terms first. So the first term can then be written as, if you rationalize the first term, so the first term transforms into root 4 minus root 3 upon 1, because root 4 whole square minus root 3 whole square is actually 4 minus 3, which is equal to 1. So this is first term. This is how the first term can be written. What about the second term? Second term can similarly be written as in this manner. Third term in this manner. And so on. So what about the last term? So last term can be written as root 9 minus root 8. Okay. So if you realize something, so let's see, this root 4 and this root 4 are going to get cancelled. This root 5 are going to get cancelled. The only terms that won't cancel are minus root 3 and plus root 9. So this is actually equal to minus root 3 plus 3. So answer is 3 minus root 3. So this is the final answer. So a very similar question again. Let's try to solve this. And let's take shortcuts now, because you have already learned the tips and tricks of rationalizing. So if you would have realized that the difference is 1, 3.25 and 2.251. That's why they have been chosen. That is the purpose. 4.25, 3.25. Again a difference of 1. So straight away we can rationalize. So first term can be written as this. Similarly, second term can be written as this. Third term can now be written as this, and fourth term as this. And you will realize that many terms would cancel each other out. This cancels this one out, this cancels this one out, and this cancels this one out. So basically the answer is root 6.25 minus root 2.25. 25. So this is 2.5 minus 1.5. So answer is actually equal to 1. So this is the correct answer. So this is again a very good question. If you realize something, then things will become very easy for you. So look at the terms a and b. So a into b. So if you multiply a and b, answer will be 1 because they are actually reciprocals of each other. So a into b is equal to 1. That's very obvious. Now what is a plus b equal to? So a plus b is equal to, if you solve this, so 3, denominator will get rationalized and numerator would become root 3 minus root 2 whole square plus root 3 plus root 2 whole square. So a plus b would come out to be 3 plus 2 minus 2 into root 3 root 2 plus 3 plus 2 plus 2 into root 3 root 2 whole divided by 1. So this gets cancelled. So 5 plus 5, 10. So a plus b comes out to be equal to 10 and ab is equal to 1. Now based on that, we have been asked to calculate the value of a square by b plus b square by a. So now let's do that. We know that ab is equal to 1 and a plus b is equal to 10. So let's do that on next. So we have just found out that a into b is equal to 1. So we know that a into b is equal to 1. We also know that a plus b is equal to 10. And what are we trying to find? We are trying to find a square by b plus b square by a. So this is actually equal to, if you look at, so this is what we have been asked to find. So this can be rewritten as this. Okay. So now a cube plus b cube can be written as a plus b whole cube minus 3ab into a plus b whole divided by ab. We know that ab is equal to 1, so we need not write it, or even if you write it, makes no difference. So a plus b is equal to 10. So answer would be 10 cube minus 3 into ab is 1 and a plus b is 10. So divided by 1. So 1000 minus 30. So final answer is 970. Now dear students, next powerful concept that you must be aware of is the concept or the use of symmetrical expression to frame the question. So it is the hot favorite pattern of question setters. So it looks very daunting, it looks very difficult, but if you get down to basic, nothing can be easier than this. So what is the concept of symmetrical expression? So let's understand this. What is this pattern all about? So in this pattern, a few variables are used or involved, A, B, C. Let's suppose a question is based on 3 variables A, B and C. The question would be such that the use of these variables are symmetrical, in equal measure, in equal way. How? Question can be like a cube divided by bc plus b cube divided by ac plus c cube divided by ba. If you look carefully, these type of equations are known as symmetrical because if you exchange the place of any 2 variables, let's suppose you exchange a with b and b with a, you will still get the same expression. Let's do that. So wherever you are finding a, write b there, and wherever you are seeing b, write a there. You will still get the same expression. That means all the variables are written in same format, same pattern, same symmetry, and hence they are known as symmetrical expression. Let's take another example. So another example could be that if you are using these 3 variables, another symmetrical expression can be something like this: a to the power 5 b square c square divided by b square plus c square plus b to the power 5 a square c square divided by a square plus c square plus c to the power 5 a square b square divided by a square plus b square. So this is symmetrical. Whichever variables you have chosen, you have to give them equal treatment. Now what what we have to do when we see such pattern of questions before us? It is pretty simple. Whenever you see such pattern of questions, you have to assume all terms to be equal. Now what is meant by that? Let's see, taking an example. So here you can see this is a case of a symmetrical expression. So whenever you get a symmetrical expression in competitive exam, you have to treat all these three expressions as similar. So what I am trying to say, I am trying to say that you have to assume, you must assume that this is actually equal to this, because even if you interchange their places, the expression still remains the same. So there is no harm in assuming this to be true. So if you assume this to be true, so what are we actually trying to say? So this 3 can be equally divided into these three portions. So it would mean that m minus, so this is equal to 1 plus 1 and hence the answer came out to be 3. So I can safely say that m minus a square by b square plus c square must be equal to 1. So from here you can see that m is equal to a square plus b square plus c square. See how easy things become. If you exploit the use of symmetry by keeping all the terms equal, you won't require more than 30 seconds to solve any question based on this very concept. Now let's move forward. Again you can see the use of symmetry. Isn't this expression symmetrical? Yes, it is. So you have been given a symmetrical expression and you are asked to calculate another symmetrical expression. So what to do? So in this case, I will assume all these three terms, first term, second term, third term, all these three terms to be equal. So if all these three terms are equal, that means one have to be divided equally. So it would actually mean that a by 1 minus a is given to us as equal to 1 by 3. So from here you can see that 3a is equal to 1 minus a. From here you can calculate that a is equal to 1 by 4. So once you have calculated a is equal to 1 by 4, you can be sure that a is equal to b is equal to c. All the three terms are behaving similarly, equally, and hence they are equal. The crux of the matter is, if you are treating variables equally in both the given expression and the expression that you have been asked to find out, then the crux or the simple hack of this pattern is you can simply assume all the variables to be equal. So now a is equal to b is equal to c. So now see, you have been asked to calculate this. So instead of calculating all the three terms separately, you can calculate one term and multiply it by 3, because you know that all variables are equal. So the final answer would be 3 into 1 divided by 1 minus a, or 3 into 1 minus 1 upon 4. So this is nothing but 3 into 4 by 3. So the final answer is 4. So this is how you must use symmetry. Now let's move further. Again a symmetrical expression. You have been given a symmetrical expression and you are asked to calculate the another symmetrical expression. Then how to solve this? You have to simply assume all the variables to be equal. That's it. A is equal to b is equal to c. So now what does the meaning of the given information changes to? So it now means a square, because a and b are same, b is also a. So I can write a square plus a square plus a square is given to me as a cube, a b c. That means a into a into a. So from here you can see that 3a square is equal to a cube. From here you can safely assume that a is equal to 3. So once you get the value of a equal to 3, you can say that b is also equal to 3 and c is also equal to 3. So now you have to calculate this expression, which involves three terms. So instead of solving three terms separately, I will solve only one term and multiply it by 3, because I know that all the three terms will give the same result because they are symmetrical. So 3 into a plus b. Now a is equal to 3, b is equal to 3. So 3 into 3 plus 3 whole divided by 3 into 3 into 3 minus 1. So what does this comes out to be? So 3 into 3 plus 3, 6 divided by 9 into 2, 18. So final answer is 1. So this is the correct answer. Now let's move further. Okay. So x minus a square. So can you see that this is a symmetrical expression? So of course this is a symmetrical expression. Then what to do? So this 4abc is the sum of these three terms, and all these three terms are same. That means I can say that x minus a square upon b plus c is actually equal to, I can write a is equal to b is equal to say c. Okay, so I can say that x minus a square divided by 2a is actually equal to 3 times of this, because there are 3 terms. So 3 times of this is actually equal to 4 into a plus a plus a. So let's see. So from here we can conclude that 3 times of x minus a square divided by 2a is equal to 4 into 3 at 12a. So this can be written as 4. So from here, if you will calculate carefully, x minus a square is equal to 8a square, or else x is equal to 9a square. So x has to be equal to 9a square. So which option seems correct to you? So this is 3 square, so cannot be correct. This is again 3 square, cannot be correct. Now this is actually equal to 2 square, so this is also not correct. So this is correct, because this option is actually giving us 9a square, a plus b plus c, that means 3a whole square is 9a square. So this is the correct answer. Now let's move further. Again you can see before you a symmetrical expression. So sum of 3 equal terms is given to us as equal to 0. It means each term must be equal to 0. So you have simply been told that x plus a square plus 2c square by b plus c must be equal to 0, and also a is equal to b is equal to c. So from here you can say that x plus 3a square by 2a is equal to 0. So this is possible only when x is equal to minus 3a square. So which option is correct? So this option is correct. Okay, so this was the application of symmetrical expression. Whenever you get questions based on symmetrical expression, you should be thankful, because you see it is in fact the easiest patterns of all that we have learned so far. Okay, now let's move to one last remaining pattern, which in fact is the strongest one. Okay, so for that you need to have a cool, fresh, refreshed mind. So you can take a pause before we move on to next pattern. So let's move to the next one. So students, heat and trial is one of the most often used strategy, at least when it comes to algebra. So there have to be some basic prerequisites for you to be able to apply heat and trial. Heat and trial basically means to guess your work out. So you have to guess out the correct options. So let's see, let's practice together so that you get a hang of it. What is meant by heat and trial? How can you guess? So let's see. So if m and n are positive integers such that m to the power n is equal to 1331, then what is the value of m minus 1 to the power n minus 1? So if you are well prepared, then you must remember. So the best of the bestest teachers will tell you that before appearing for any competitive exams, you must remember the squares of 1 to 100 and cubes of at least 1 to 20 cube. So if you are in practice, you would immediately realize that 1331 is basically 11 cube. The moment you realize this, the job is done. So 11 cube is equal to m to the power n, which clearly indicates that m is equal to 11, n is equal to 3. Now let's see what the question is. We have now to calculate m minus 1 whole raised to n minus 1. Now simply substitute. You know that m is equal to 11 and n is equal to 3. You have guessed that out, which fits the description. If it fits the description, then what's the problem? So 11 minus 1 is 10, n minus 1 is 2, so 10 square, answer is 100. So this is what is meant by guessing your way out. You don't need to actually solve this. Let's move further. So x cube plus y cube is equal to 9. You can solve this. We have learned how to solve this, but now I am just giving you the crux how to figure out, how to guess without actually solving. If somebody will ask you to solve, you can actually solve this. We have already done such questions before, but now the highlight is, or now the challenge before us is, without actually solving, can we guess the answer out? Let us see. So x cube plus y cube is given to us as 9. X plus y is given to us as equal to 3. So if you can think of any two numbers which satisfies these two, then why not? You are most welcome to choose those numbers. What if you choose x to be equal to 1 and y to be equal to 2? So in fact, these two numbers are satisfying these two equations. That means I can safely assume x to be equal to 1 and y to be equal to 2 without getting into error, because my chosen numbers are actually satisfying the data given in the question. That means what you have been asked to find, you actually managed to guess that out. So as soon as you have guessed that out, that x is equal to 1, y is equal to 2, you can immediately solve this. You have been asked to find x to the power 4 plus y to the power 4, which can be now written as 1 to the power 4 plus 2 to the power 4 is equal to 1 plus 16. Answer is 17. See, 17 is one of the options. So that is what is meant by guessing. Let's move further. So 5 to the power root x plus 12 to the power root x is equal to 13 to the power root x. If you can realize, you must have done this many a times. 5 square plus 12 square is equal to 13 square. So it's very evident that root x is actually a replacement of 2. So therefore x is equal to 2 square equal to 4. A minus b is equal to 3. So a minus b is equal to 3 and a cube minus b cube is equal to 117. Can we think of two such numbers? You see, this is very close to 5 cube. So I think if 5 is involved here, 5 and 2. So 125 minus 8 is equal to 117. Yes, in fact. So the two numbers can be guessed out easily, 5 and 2. So once you have done that, so what is the value? We have been asked to calculate a plus b. So a plus b is equal to 5 plus 2 is equal to 7. And if 7 is the option, then what's the problem? Has to be the correct option. Now you see, what should be added to the expression, this expression, so that the sum may be a perfect square. So we have already learned how to solve such questions. Now we won't solve it, we will guess this out. We will guess the correct answer out. Let's see how can we do that. So why can't we assume x to be equal to 1? If we assume x to be equal to 1 and a to be equal to 1, so what is the given expression? Given expression is 1 into 1 plus 1 into 1 plus 2 into 1 plus 3. This is the given expression if we have assumed x to be equal to 1 and a to be equal to 1. So this comes out to be 2 into 3 into 4. So 12. So 24. Now the question is, what must be added to 24 to make it perfect square? Look at the options. 9a square would mean 9. If we add 9 to 24, does it become perfect square? No, it doesn't. 4a square means 4. If you add 4 here, will it become perfect square? No. A to the power 4, it means 1. So if you add 1 to this, will it become a perfect square? Yes, it will become. That means this cannot be answer, this cannot be answer. This can be the answer. I am not saying this is the answer, because even this can be true. Now, see, if you are stuck in such a situation, then you can take another number to break the tie. It has already been discovered or concluded that this and this can never be the answer, because it failed in this instance. But still, there is a tiebreaker between these two options, either option C or option D. Then how to tie break? You take another dummy value and see if the tie gets broken. So this time I take another dummy value. This time I would assume x to be equal to 1 or x to be, so this time I am taking another dummy value because I am going to tie break. So this time I am taking x to be equal to 2 and a to be equal to 1. Let me tie break now. So 2 into, so 2 plus 1 3 into 2 plus 2 4 into 2 plus 3 5. This time what does this comes out to be? 3 into 2 6, 6 4s are 24, 24 5s are 120. So what must be added to 120 to make it a perfect square? This time we have assumed a to be equal to 1. So if we add a to the power 4, that means if we add 1 here, does it becomes a perfect square? Yes, it does become a perfect square. So the tie is broken. A to the power 4 is the correct answer in both the instances. Now let's have a look at this one. So this is pretty simple because this is a symmetrical expression. So if the expression is symmetrical, all these three terms are equal and 0. So here there is nothing much left to be calculated. So you can avoid this. You need not even guess this. Okay, now this one. If x plus y plus z is equal to 0, then what is the value of this expression? Then what to do? You think of some dummy values, heat and trial, dummy values. So you can take x to be equal to 1, y to be equal to 2, and z to be equal to minus 3. So now you have chosen dummy values such that the given data is valid. Now you can simply substitute here and see which one is the correct one. Now we will do that. We will do exactly that. So y plus z, that means 1 minus 3 minus x, that means minus 1 whole cube, plus now z is minus 3 plus 1 minus 2 whole cube, plus now x plus y, that means 1 plus 2 minus minus plus, so plus 3 whole cube. Now we will solve this and we will see that it matches to which option. So minus 1, so minus 3, so this is minus 27 plus, so minus 5 and plus 1 minus 4. So minus 4 whole cube is minus 64, and this will be 3 plus 2 5, 5 plus 1 6. So 6 whole cube is 216. So this ultimately is equal to. So dear student, let's see how can we solve this one. The only fact that is given to us is x plus y plus z is equal to 0, and based on that we have to calculate that this expression matches which of the following option. So you can take some dummy values as per your convenience. So it is given that x plus y plus z is equal to 0. So I will take some dummy values. I can take x is equal to 1, y is equal to 2. Don't take generic values like 0, 0, 0. Take some different values. So 1 plus 2 and minus 3. So this in fact are such a choices that it actually validates the given data. Yes, in fact x plus y plus z is equal to 0. Now what will I do? I will substitute these dummy values in the given expression so that I will see that if a few options can be eliminated. If by chance 3 options can be eliminated and only one will match, then I will proceed no further. So let me do that. I have chosen dummy values carefully. Now it's time to substitute those dummy values. So y plus z, so y is equal to 2, z is equal to minus 3, minus 1 whole cube. I am just substituting in the given expression. So z plus x, z is equal to minus 3, x is equal to 1, y is equal to what? 2, plus x plus y minus z, so minus minus plus whole cube. So let's see what this comes out to be. So 2 minus 4, so minus 2 whole cube, so this is minus 8, so minus 5 and plus 1, so minus 4, so this is minus 64 plus 216. So this comes out to be how much? So 60, 72, so this is actually 144. Now let us see which option does actually fits the description. If you substitute these dummy values now in option, does any of the option give you the value 144 or not? Let's see. So x plus y plus z is equal to 0, so this can never be the correct answer. What about this one? Does this option actually makes you reach 144 or not? Let's see. So 3 into x plus y, so 3 into 1 plus 2, 3 into 3 into y plus z. So y2 plus minus 3, that means minus 1 into z plus x. So z plus x, that means minus 3 minus 2. So this comes out to be 18. Doesn't comes out to be 144. So this also cannot be the correct answer. So eliminated. What about this one? So 24 into x is what? 1, y is what? 2, and z is equal to minus 2. So answer comes out to be negative, whereas answer expected is positive 144. So this cannot be the correct option. What about the last option? Minus 24 into 1 into 2 into minus 3. So yes, this is in fact 144. So as you can see, only this option fits. So option D is the correct option. We have guessed out, we haven't solved it. Now let's move further. So you see, this is what is given to us, that s minus a plus s minus b plus s minus c is equal to s. Only this fact is given to us. So from here you can conclude that 3s minus a plus b plus c is equal to s. So from here we can also conclude that a plus b plus c is equal to 2s. Okay, so you choose any value, you give any value to a, b and c. So I choose a to be equal to 1, b to be equal to 2 and c to be equal to 3. So based on my choices, the value of s comes out to be equal to what? So 3 plus 3 is 6 is equal to 2s. So s also comes out to be equal to 3. So now I have chosen dummy values. Now what am I going to do? I am going to substitute these dummy values in the given expression and see which of the option does it changes into. So s is equal to 3, a is equal to 1, b is equal to 2 and c is equal to 3. Now it's time to substitute those values. So let's do that. So the given expression can now be written as 3 minus 1 whole square plus 3 minus 2 whole square plus 3 minus 3 whole square plus 3 square, this s square because of this s square, whole divided by 1 square plus 2 square plus 3 square. So let's see what the answer comes out to be. 3 minus 1 is equal to 2. So 2 square is 4. So 3 minus 2 is equal to 1. So 1 square is equal to 1. So 4 plus 1 plus 0 plus 9 whole divided by 1 plus 4 plus 9. So this is 14 divided by 14. So answer is 1. So this is the correct answer. Let's move further. So if a plus b plus c is equal to 0, then what is the value of this expression? So let us see. You can again take dummy values. A plus b plus c is equal to 0. You can take dummy value 1, 2 and minus 3 and you can simply substitute. And because only one option will be correct at a time, na? So we will substitute. We are sure that 3 options are going to get eliminated. Let's do that. So a plus b, that means 1 plus 2 divided by minus 3 plus b plus c, that means 2 minus 3 divided by 1 plus c plus a, that means minus 3 plus 1 divided by 2, this whole into a, that means 1 divided by b plus c, b is 2, this plus 2 divided by minus 3 plus 1 plus minus 3 divided by 1 plus 2. Now let's see what it becomes. 1 plus 2 is 3, 3 divided by minus 3. So minus 1, 2 minus 3 is minus 1, minus 1 divided by 1 is again minus 1. So minus 3 plus 1 is equal to minus 2. So minus 2 divided by 2 is again minus 1. This into, so 1 by minus 1 is again minus 1. So 2 by minus 2 again minus 1, minus 3 by 3 again minus 1. So this is minus 3 into minus 3, answer is 9. So this is the correct answer.